Bliss Loves, Rissa Vibes here, aka Readings by Rissa. So excited to connect with you as always. Today I want to talk about love. And I want to talk about it in a different way than I usually talk about it. Today I want to talk about love from a shadow perspective, from the energy of shadow work that we want to do during this Venus retrograde season that we're in. We are in the Venus retrograde, which means that Venus governs love, pleasure, romance, connection, unity, and that sacred love, divine love essence in our life. And so when a planet is in retrograde, like Venus is right now, we want to reflect, review, reassess, and redefine the characteristics that that planet represents in our life. So for Venus retrograde right now, we are going to be reassessing, redefining, and reflecting on our perceptions surrounding love, specifically around the duality in love, because we are in a Gemini season, and Gemini is a dualistic sign, able to really see all points of view, the good and the bad, the heavy and the light, to really process and observe and feel out intuitively what direction is best for them. And so we are all going to be influenced by this energy as Venus retrograde and Gemini connect. So I want to give you some easy reflective prompts to help you evaluate your love in your life, whether you are in a relationship or not, okay? The first thing I want you to focus on is the shadow aspect of love, the duality that you may be seeing in your life right now surrounding love and romance. Maybe you are newly single, maybe you are in a relationship, and you're feeling a little bit uncomfortable with some changes that have surfaced in your life surrounding love, maybe new perspectives or just new energies, emotions surrounding your perception of romance or your love life in general. And this is really your inner being aligning with the astrological influences to encourage you to reflect on this energy and to see this duality, to see some of the things that are coming up, some of the contrasts, some of the confusion, some of the need for clarity in certain ways that things have changed as you've evolved recently. And so I invite you to really reflect on any areas in your life where there is possessive love, meaning that there is an energy of control surrounding love, whether you're expressing a possessive love, trying to control someone else with your love, or trying to use love to control a situation, or feeling more in control when you're in a certain vibration of love. You want to focus on that and see if there's any possessive love in your life. And also if you're receiving love in a possessive way, meaning maybe a partner or a family member or a friend is using their love to control you or influence you. This type of love is a shadow aspect of love. This is not true love. This is not authentic love. This is love with a condition, love with an incentive, love with a need to control. So we want to really release any types of possessive love that we may see in our life, because it's really coming from a place of the ego where you want to feel more in control or more powerful or more important with the love that you're sharing or receiving. And that can be a very detrimental type of love because it creates codependency, it creates confusion, it creates oppression, it creates abuse in times. This is ultimately a really negative form of love. Also check in your life if you notice any manipulative love. This is love that is trying to persuade or coerce a situation or an emotion or a perception that isn't really authentic to you or isn't really authentic to what you feel you need in your life. And this type of manipulative love can be, again, something that you're expressing onto others where you're trying to manipulate situations or manipulate your desires to get what you want through a loving connection or through your use of love in a situation. And also if someone's manipulating you in love or taking advantage of your love and manipulating their own situation, their own benefits for the sake of love. So you want to release any types of manipulative love as well in your life. And you really want to get clear on what triggers you to open up to this type of love. Are you overly people pleasing? Are you too heart open? Are you giving too much of your love away without really assessing how that love is being used, whether it's against you or against others, that manipulation aspect. Really reflect on this, journal about this. These are just prompts that I want you to really go as deep as you feel like you need to go intuitively to clear these patterns of love that can be shadow-esque, okay? And then the other type of love I want you to check for is aggressive love. Any kind of love that gets violent or gets aggressive or that creates a sense of anger or frustration or hate or intense, heavy emotions or violent emotions. Of course, this type of love definitely is not love. It is an opposite of love. It is an energy of fear and anger and rooted in a sense of contrast that is really separate. It's based in separatism. It's not based in unity. And that aggression, that combativeness, that separativeness is not love. It's based in fear. And so we want to clear that out of your life as well and make sure that you're addressing whatever comes up there, whether these patterns started in the past from family members that you've learned this behavior from, or that you've learned to allow this behavior in your life, or whether or not you've just kind of lost a lot of your self-worth or self-confidence in a situation and kind of just stopped allowing that need for respect in love, that mutual respect in love. And so we want to focus on that. And this includes if you're the aggressive lover, right? I've had to check myself on this many times. I'm a passionate person, and sometimes my passion can easily switch to aggression if I'm triggered in a certain way. And so this could be you as well. So make sure you're addressing any types of aggressive love, and you're doing your best this week to clear that. I also want to touch on desperate love. This is that sense of needing love, overly needing it, just so desperate for it, so much that you can't spend time alone, that you can't give yourself the love that you need when you feel you need love or attention. This energy of sense of urgency and eagerness, despite any type of, values you may have, or certain standards you may have, sacrificing your standards, sacrificing your self-worth for receiving love or giving love because you're desperate for that exchange, whether it means desperate for being needed in love so that you want to give love to someone who needs you, no matter what that means, or whether you're just desperate for somebody to give you love, no matter what that means. You're just desperate for that. And that desperate love can easily transition into the aggressive love, the manipulative love, the possessive love as well, because you're starting to release your set of standards around what is healthy in love. And then limited love, conditional love, these are the same things. This is the last highlight of love I want you to focus on in a shadow aspect way for shadow work surrounding love in your life. Limited love and conditional love is where you're receiving love or giving love only surrounding certain conditions, meaning you're only going to give love if you get this certain thing back in exchange for it, or you're only going to give love if you feel a sense of this emotion when you get that love, or if it's a certain type of person or a certain type of situation, you'll only give love to that. Also receiving love, where you're only going to receive love if this energy or the person that you're receiving love from is completely surrendered to you in a codependent, unhealthy way. This is conditional love. This is limited love. Maybe you don't want to receive love from anyone who you don't fully feel you trust. This is a big one for people, and trust conditions are all over the map depending on who you are and what you've experienced that have caused you to lose trust in others or feel afraid to trust others with your heart. So conditions around trust, conditions around love, conditions around sacrifice or compromise from that partner. You only want them to be able to give you love if they compromise a certain way, or if they, do something for you in a specific way. So this limited love, this conditional love is not true love either. It's not unconditional. It's not open. It's not free. It's not compassionate. it's not fully accepting and fully flowing, fully permeable. It doesn't flow into everything. And we forget that we are limitless in love. And a lot of these types of love are based in the idea that we don't have enough love to give, or there's not enough love to go around. So we have to possess it, or we have to manipulate it, or we have to use aggression to get it, or we have to only receive it with conditions because we want to hoard our love for ourselves. We are operating off of limitless love. We are light. We are connected to source energy, and love is infinite. So if we can remember that love is infinite, a lot of these needs to cling to these shadow types of love go away, and we start opening up to the vessel of love that we are, the channel of love that we are, as a connection to source. And we start to learn how to connect to source to receive love that is infinite and flowing through us. So I encourage you to also, this is the last thing I'll say since this video is getting a little long, think about, what do you do when love leaves you? Do you get desperate? Do you get aggressive? Do you get conditional with your standards? Do you get manipulative and possessive? Do you shut down? Do you get depressed? Do you get fearful? Do you get angry? When love leaves, when the illusion hits you that love has left, because it's not true. Love is infinite, like I just said, but sometimes we get in that thought process of, oh my gosh, we have no love. We are losing love. We're limited in love. When we get that idea, what do? What is your reaction? And assess those shadow-like behaviors and use your remembrance that love is infinite to help you combat those triggers and those moments when you feel like love has left you, so that you no longer cling to those types of shadowy behaviors. Because this Venus retrograde is really encouraging us to understand how we love and understand how we receive love, so that we can alter and reassess and redirect whatever we need to do to make love flow easier and more harmoniously and more healthily in our life. So I hope that helps. I hope that brings you some inspiration. And go ahead and comment below on how this video helps you, what resonates most with you, and let's start a conversation on what types of love you're clearing out of your life this week with the Venus retrograde. What types of shadow aspects of your love life or love in general are you releasing from your experience this week? Let's go ahead and do some heavy heart healing and releasing and love activating in a healthy way. I love you so much, and I will see you soon. Peace.